God is always trying to get us to rise and soar for spiritual growth. He never intended for us to hold on to dead weights. He never intended for us to hold on to them, but He wanted us to cast all of our weights upon Him so that our minds could heal for spiritual growth and maturity. He intended to build a spiritual muscle mass, and that was to always rely on Him no matter what, and burn whatever was in our mindset that was not like Him. God is always trying to build us up. And in that process, we can't hold on to things that do not concern us. See, the problem is we always want to fix, change, or manipulate things or manipulate people when we don't see the results we think should have happened by now. When we think God should have gotten the person who hurt us by now. We think God should have turned things around by now to work in my favor. We think we should have gotten a job by now. We think we should have been promoted by now. We think we should be married by now. We think God should have worked the situation out the way we thought what was best for us by now. We think God should have kept people in our lives who we thought were good for us. We thought God should have restored some relationships by now. We think, God should have changed our children's decision making because they were going down a wrong path. We think that should have happened by now. I could go on and on, but we do not have that ability. We do not have that skill set. We don't have the right to change people, things, our destiny, or the destiny of others. God's ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. God never intended for us to have that gift to manipulate and change people and circumstances. Unfortunately, we all fail in this area, and we fail multiple times. We fail at letting go and letting God. We fail when He wants to spiritually mature us mentally and spiritually. We fail at holding on to things that are not healthy for us. We fail at holding on to people that aren't good for us. We fail at holding onto grudges from people who hurt us. We fail at holding expectations of people who don't do things the same way that we do them. We fail at holding useless thoughts that aren't healthy for us. We fail holding to negativity in so many ways that impede us from spiritually growing and maturing into the place where God wants us to be. Sadly, many adults still today have held on to so many things from their past that they should be further ahead than they should be by now. But it is that fingerprint in our subconscious that won't allow us to let go and surrender to the Lord. If you want to hear more from this episode, Let Go to Rise and Soar, please check out the Lioness podcast on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, and Spreaker.